Order. First, we'll have prayer. Uh, and ask Alderman Townsend if he would lead us in prayer.
Someone else.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Smith?
Lord Jesus Christ, thank you for this beautiful weather today. Thank you for our wonderful city. We pray that this evening you guide our mayor and aldermen to fulfill their duties with humility, compassion, and grace. We ask that you grant them wisdom and guidance as they conduct business of the city. Lord, we pray that every decision be righteous in your sight for our benefit and for your glory. Almighty Father, we thank you for our elected officials, for the city employees, for our businesses, our churches, the families, and the individuals that make our city a great place to live. Thank you that Jesus rose from the dead and now reigns as King over heaven and earth. Grant that our city would be known as a righteous city, a city that confesses Jesus as Lord, a city of peace and hope, a city with happy homes, a city that welcomes the stranger, and a city that cares for the needy, a city that defends the innocent from evildoers. In your holy name, amen.
Amen.
Madam City Clerk, roll call, please.
Alderman Fountain, Alderman Jones, absent. Alderman Shipp, Alderman Teal, Alderman Merriweather, absent. Mayor, you have 3 board members present.
Thank you. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next off, I want to ask for prayers for the family of Mr. Denny Long, for the family of Mr. Prince LaShawn Bentley, for the family of Mrs. Lee Orr Harris, for the family of Mr. Clarence Edward Martin, for the family of Mr. Cassell Newsom, for the family of Mr. Christopher Leonard Williams, for the family of Nurse Charlotte Ann Johar, and for the family of Mr. Antonio Chardo family. And then would also ask for a moment of silence for peace.
Can we have Miss Ethel Long, Terry, Ethel Terry?
We'll also add Ms. Ethel, Long, or Terry. I was gonna put that for everyone knew her as one of the Ford sisters. She was a teacher, educator for quite some time, so she lived to be how old, 94? All right, thank you. Moment of silence, please. All right, thank you. And also, before we get started, I want to recognize we do have some special guests with us tonight from Russ College, and they are here with Professor Dr. Morier, and they are part of the D.A. Smith Honors Program for scholars. Please stand. We have to give that photo. And Dr. Morier is with them. Will you tell us a little bit about the program? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mayor Gibson, for allowing us to be here. I contacted the mayor 2 weeks ago about the E.A. Smith Honors Scholars, visiting, the Board of Aldermen in order to observe the city, legislative session. And I was getting them to understand that this more or less just look at it like in the Congress where you have the legislators and then you have the Senate or the governor, the mayor as the governor, and then you have the other man, as the legislators and stuff. So this is where it happens in terms of all the policies, that the people in Holly Springs live by. So in fact, some of them, without putting them out, they don't even know where the city hall is, and this is a fact. So this more or less, the first experience for them in terms of where the city hall is located and everything. And they were even asking, is the election over? And all that. I said, whether, no, I said, runoff. Okay, so but we're very glad that you accepted our invitation. And actually, this program, was initiated by the ninth president of Ross College, Dr. Ernest Smith, and who had a passion for education. And of course, down from the first president and up to today with Dr. Dixon, the legacy is being carried on right from the beginning of the founders of Ross College. These founders had a dream of educating, the freedmen and their, descendants. And so up to today, that dream is still ongoing, and thank God Ross College will be here for another 150 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any comments or questions for Dr. Moyer?
I would just like to say good evening, everybody, and welcome Dr. Moyer and the beautiful, wonderful students from Russ College. Thank you
Yeah.
for bringing me.
Yeah, indeed. By the way, I told the student that, of course, they know Dr. Meriwether, that she also, another man for the city. So you are going to see her here, in celebration.
I'm gonna behave tonight.
Thank you, Mayor.
Well, thank you so much, and we are so proud of the students for coming out tonight and being a part of the process. If you need any additional information after tonight, please let us know, or if you want to return and come back and visit with us. We meet on the first and third Tuesday of every month, and Dr. Moyer is correct that the election is not over. We do have a runoff election. That will be on April the 22nd, and then after that election, there will be an election in June, the general election. So we hope that as you attend Russ College, that you all will feel free to participate in the process. We will have a program coming up, and Dr. Moyer, I'll get you that information.
Okay.
We'll do like a summer youth workers program, and so we do accept students from the age of 16 to, I believe it's 26, 24, 26. So I will get that information to you. So if someone's going to be here this summer, that will be another opportunity.
Okay. All right.
Alright, so
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you
much.
all. Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll be here until your executive session.
We won't be long. Some of us have already announced it. Time.
7 p.m.
And Ms. Jones is holding us to it. All right, so first I do, as we proceed to adopt the agenda, I do have a few things. One, been informed that item number 17, I've been asked to hold that one. And then also to add item number 19A. And that is a request for a beer and liquor license approval. And that is by the new restaurant. You've probably seen it on the corner. Casa Fiesta Mexican Grill. Did I say that correct? Thank you. And and their representative is here. And so I'd like to add that as item number 19A. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
I have one. The discussion of the Christmas light check.
All right, so we can add that as item number 27A.
And also a update on the offer on the finish.
You can add that as 28B.
All right, so you said 28A was Christmas lights.
For 27A is Christmas lights and, I'm sorry, 27, excuse me? 27A is Christmas lights. I said 28B, but it should be
27A is
27.
it's already listed.
Oh, under those, okay,
Minutes.
all right, so, let's just do it as, D and E then.
You don't want to do it. So D is the Christmas lights, E would be the one all that. So
Right. What did y'all say, E1? ARPA funds. Okay. All right, is there a motion to adopt the agenda as amended? Okay, so a second, it's been moved by Alderman Hampton, second by Alderman Teal, all those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes 5 ayes, 0 nays. All right, first item, we have the consent agenda, and we have items 1 through 8. Item number 1, motion to authorize transfer of $138,920.93 from the general ACH fund to the general operating fund. This is the March 2025 sales tax. Motion to authorize payment of $190,703.08 to the Holly Springs School District. This is the March 2025 settlement. Item number 3, motion to authorize transfer of $26,701.70 from the general ACH fund to the public money market. This is the March 2025 tourism. Item number 4, motion to authorize payment of $13,350.85 to Holly Springs Tourism. This is 1/2 the share of the tourism settlement. Item number 5, motion to authorize transfer of $450 from the general ACH fund to the general operating fund, ABC liquor tax. Item number 6, motion to authorize payment of $2,766.25 to the Department of Finance and Administration. This is the March 2025 municipal court settlement. Item number 7, motion to authorize transfer of $2,484.50 from the general ACH fund to the general operating fund. This is the March 2025 in-court payment. Item number 8, motion to authorize payment of $225 to Ms. Addison Duhar for court fine overpayment. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
I move that we adopt the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll say that.
It's a move by Alderman Schiff, second by Alderman Thompson. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes 5 ayes, 0 nays. All right. Item number 9 is public comment. It is limited to the first 7 people. And please remember when you come forward to state your name, and you have 3 minutes. First on the agenda, Mr. Jim Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. Jim Smith. Thank you for giving me the privilege of proclaiming the prayer before the meeting. It's an honor. I'm astounded that an employee can come before this board and out lie with no consequences. I often wonder, how can you trust somebody with the big issues if they lie about the little things? My impression, just my impression, is that you've hired this person and you continue to retain this person simply out of your hatred for the mayor. And that's not right to the town. Have you guys even looked at the truth of past HSUD bills? I haven't had a bill in a timely fashion in years. Have you even looked to see if there was correspondence between somebody within the city and the company with the remote viewing of the meters? Or are we just going to forget about that because that was 2 weeks ago? On another note, I think Mr. Jefferson should be recognized because this texting program is outstanding. It's really great. That and Madam Mayor, your messages are wonderful. They're straightforward. They're just kind of the fact, but they're also give you hope and give you a reasonable expectation, which is difficult to come by in this city. So I just wanted to thank you. They're reassuring, and And I think we need a little more faith in our lives. And when you get messages like that from the city, it really is good. But again, nobody ever answers my questions here. But we had somebody here that said that bills are being received in a timely fashion, and I apologize. I had an outburst, but I don't like liars, and that's a lie. And the second thing that we heard is that the system that remote reads our meters is going to be shut off immediately, and I can't believe that. I don't believe it. And quite honestly, I need proof that nobody got information that this is going to get shut down, because now we're not going to get bills for a couple of months, is what Mr. Jones said, or we're going to have to get reader meters and do it manually. Come on, this is 21st century. Thank you very much, Mayor.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Next, we have Mr. Walker Bird. Please come to the table and state your name. You have 3 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. My name is Walker Bird. I went out to the Holly Springs Utility Department to get some utilities turned on a piece of property I got, vacant land. I went out there and I want to say late January, early February. They told me they needed a $450 deposit. Then the lady come back and said I had 2 outstanding bills out there for $54 and something else. And I said, lady, I hadn't lived here in over 30 years. She said, well, you got outstanding bills. I said, no, ma'am, I don't. So I go back out there today. There was $300 and something. Plus they come up with another $300 and something in late things. I said, well, $379.78. He said, you got to pay that for you. I said, well, I left here in 1994. And I said, the bills you saying, one of them belonged to my granddad, lived on Tribble Road, that I bought the place from him after they passed on. And that light bill was back from the 60s. But they changed the address off of one, took it off one address and put on another. I said, well, you show me something that I signed that's got our name on it, then I'll have to pay it. But then she said, well, we charged it off back in 2002. I said, well, if you charge it off, it's a no debt. So that's where we're at. I just need some lights for my barn that I'm gonna build out there.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know what else to do.
So I'm going to get someone to make copies of that so I can look into that tomorrow.
I got it right here.
Yes, sir. Let me see if Ms. Clayton is still here. And I'll have her come up to make copies. I don't want your originals. They'll get
That's fine. I
lost.
understand. Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Get lost. Oh, thank you. Ms. Oliver is going to make a copy. Once she makes that copy, will you write your telephone number on it, and I'll check on it tomorrow afternoon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
And I'll check on that and see what happened with it, get some more details from you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
She went into the office in the back right there. She'll get that for you. All right, next, Mr. Rick Ramey.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. We are certainly excited about being here today. It's good to see the whole board here in full. I'm glad to see all of y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all long because y'all said y'all wanted to be out early, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. The Elder Street water leak and all of that was fixed. I want to thank the water department for fixing that water leak that was turned into a pond on Elder Street. They did fill the holes in with chat, but they need some asphalt on top of it before all the chat washes away. And then I think the end of Elder Street will be back in shape as far as the street goes. Chesterman Street hole is getting bigger. They're moving the cone. They just keep moving the cone, and it's now to where people are stopping as they go down Chesterman Street. That hole on the east side of the street is getting very big now. It's continuing to erode and wash away. South Center Street. I just need one thing on South Center Street, and that's that fire plug fixed before the grass gets so tall and out of pocket that we can't get to it. The fire plug is completely broke off on the top. I keep talking about that fire plug. If a fire should break out and all that grass is around, it's gonna burn down every house on Center Street. So if we could get that fire plug fixed, just the top of it. If I got a whole one fixed on Memphis, I should be able to just get the top put on the one on Center Street. Again, the pole on Tullahoma, the AT&T pole, we got it fixed. I'm so excited that people have stopped talking about that pole on Tullahoma. We are trying to get Ward 3 back in shape and get it looking good and better for our incoming people into the city and all that. I'm excited about it. I'm ready, and I'm looking forward to the future. So with that being said, my name is Rick Ramey, and I'm running for Alderman Ward 3. Y'all have a good day.
And for our college students, that's a part that we added to the agenda because we want to make sure that the public has an opportunity to express to us their concerns. And so it's something that is new for the city of Holly Springs, and as you see, it can be very interesting. And a lot of times we can learn about some of the concerns that we might not know throughout the city. So just wanted to put that out there for you all. Next we have Deputy Royce Piggies. He's from the county, but we're probably going to have to do that as an executive session, okay? So, but I just wanted to make everyone aware that you're here regarding a concern that you have with the police department. Next we have Mr. Elliott and Brett, Mr. Brett. And he's here to give us an update regarding, well, he has an ask for the Cuba Street project, and he's going to be quick. He's going to be a minute and a half.
I didn't have long. I do have an update on Cuba Hill Street drainage. In fact, I got a message right before I walked in that changed some of the what I would talk about tonight. We were down, when I walked in earlier, we were down to 3 names that we needed easements on the Cuba Street project in order to proceed. Before I walked in the door, one of the residents said she will sign tomorrow. We bring her the papers. She will sign. I've got one that says she's never going to sign, and my solution for that is she's only on one side of the road. She doesn't affect anything except what's right in her yard. So what I am going to propose on that is we just don't fix her side of the road. Now, if she comes back in after we get started and she says, I'd like to get it fixed, then we could do a change order and fix it. So that's the solution with that one. Then I have one resident who is, he's for the project. He's told me that several times, but he would like to be paid for the easement. Now, there are funds in the grant to pay for the easement if we choose to do that. I guess my direction would be, and the attorney can tell us, but I can go, I know what he wants for it. I can go talk to him about it. I could probably get him to sign it, but he's going to want to be paid before he signs it. So the board's going to have to authorize that. I have no authority to do that. So with that said, we'll come back to it. My goal is that if we could possibly get, knowing that he's going to sign, that we could go ahead and advertise next week, and that we could get it in the paper. By the time we actually get ready to do the work itself, we could come back to the board with an amount and get it done before we ever start work. Because it takes us, it takes 2 weeks and so many days to advertise. So I guess I need direction from y'all on how y'all want to handle that. I'll do whichever.
So your question is regarding the person who's agreed to submit to the easement. They told you the amount that they're wanting to receive.
Yeah.
You're checking to see if you can get authorization from us tonight to move forward with the amount that the person has requested.
It's an executive session.
Excuse me?
That's a potential executive session, I would think, because if you got one that's that's demanding on that, you probably want.
All right, so they want to do that in executive session.
Okay, all right, if it's okay, I'm gonna ask Mr. Perry another question, briefly ask him. The situation down there is bad. It's washing the ground away, okay? It's in bad shape. The ditch is in bad shape. And so in order to help with this deadline that we've got, I would propose that the board consider declaring it an emergency situation. Now you say, what does that mean? Well, what it means is typically you have to advertise, you put it in the paper 1 week, you put it in the paper the next week, you go 15, we go 16 just to be safe, working days, and you take your bid. On an emergency situation where you have destruction of property, you can, I'm not the lawyer,
Right. Do
you
the same
can
in the
potentially advertise two times and take it in 10 days. That 6 days is a lot for us right now, so that would be another consideration I think the board would want to look at. Okay?
So you also mentioned something else as far as possibly, you were saying as far as someone to be designated, such as yourself, to negotiate. You mentioned something about that earlier.
Yeah, if you tell me that I have the authority from this board to go talk to him and offer him this amount and tell him that if he agrees to that amount and signs the easement, he will be paid. And that person can be anybody. It can be anybody, but since I'm familiar with it, if you want to appoint me, that's fine. Anything under $10,000 on public projects, you don't have to have appraisals. You don't have to have anything. You just negotiate.
So Attorney Pierre, with that being said, is that still an executive session?
I would consider it an executive session just for the amount, and also if you're doing for one, does that not create a in-kind situation possibly? And that's my other concern, so.
All right, well, I guess in executive session, you're talking, I know that with it, you know, one person may negotiate and say they just want to give it, so you have the yard sale. So I don't think that it would be an in-kind thing. I think it just would be a matter of how that person negotiated.
Yeah,
When it kind of came to an easement. But, so we'll put it down for, executive, session. And if you can stick around for a few minutes and we'll see.
Question,
Yes, ma'am.
you really, really worked very hard on this project. I really want it done.
Yes, ma'am.
Because even today, we've been on the phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Hours. But what was the original deadline and what extension did we just receive from the?
The original deadline was we had to be complete by March, it's 31 days in March, March 31st of this year. The mayor wrote a letter to Mrs. Reyes, I think is her last name, at Department of Finance, and she granted us an extension till June 30th. So we're gonna be tight one way or the other, but I think if we get it under contract, then we can go past June 30th. But we need to get it under contract and work.
I committed you got no signature, you talked to those people, it was great.
Well,
We're convincing.
it's a good thing for the town. We need to get it
Yes,
done.
absolutely.
Okay.
That's Ward 4, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Which is in the city of Holly Springs, in history and hospitality.
But I am the only one.
Here we go. Item number 12 is a motion to authorize payment of $22,083.60 to Elliott and Brett Engineering for 40% of engineering fee for design for the Cuba Street drainage improvements under SB 2948. Is there a motion?
Yes, I motion to authorize payment of $22,083.60 to Elliott and Britt Engineering for 40% of engineering fee for design for the Cuba Street Drainage Improvement Project, SB 2948.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Alderman Merriweather, second by Alderman Teal. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes, 5 ayes, 0 nays. Item number 13, motion to authorize payment of $25,427.51 to IMS Engineers for the professional engineering services provided on the Holly Springs, power pole relocation through MDOT. Is there a motion?
That project finished?
No, they're still working on it. This is from, I think, the design that they did for it. And I think, that we'll be reimbursed from this.
All 78.
There's actually two different projects that are going, so I think there should be some information that was passed out to you.
Yeah, it's just it just says.
It's a breakdown of that cost.
This is an MDOT project.
Yeah.
MDOT, Mississippi Department, they're paying for it, I think, ultimately.
I move.
Thank you.
I'll say.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes 5 ayes, 0 nays. Thank you. Item number 14 is weather update and emergency matters. On those, we can hold the DeSoto and Southern Electric. I don't have the final invoices for those. On Dorothy's Place, there should be one invoice in. This was not just for our employees. This was for the contractors. And you have a copy of that, Ms. Jones, that invoice?
The man. It's in the pack.
All right, so get a motion to pay Dorothy's Place for the food that is provided. There was one where the employee did have the kitty there, but that was one that I took care of myself because I do understand that when it's just for our employees that we cannot pay for it from the city if they're out of a job or something. So sometimes I will do that myself, but this one is for the emergency storm services. And this is for all the contracts. Are authorized to pay. Ms. Jones, we try to find it.
It's that one right there.
Does it have?
$93.
Oh, okay, that's not what I was looking at.
That's for the election.
What number is it on here? 14?
It's $93.82 to
It was in the pack. It was in the pack. It's not.
$93.82.
Alderman Jones has moved, $93.82. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Then move Alderman Jones, second by Alderman Schiff. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes 4 ayes and 1 nay in Alderman Fountain. All right?
And Madam Mayor, you said we did not have the report from the DeSoto Electric.
No, not the final one.
And Southern.
Southern Electric. This is for the emergency work from the tornado and the storm damage. But I put them on there just as on top. Item number 15, I don't see Mr. Fitz, but this is also an emergency drainage repair. It is on, I have East Valley, it's West Valley Street. It's close to the intersection of Memphis and West Valley. One of the things that we're asking for, Elliot and Brett, they have come out and looked at it, Mr. Kevin McLeod. And so we're waiting to see as far as the survey. And so actually we have 2 asks tonight. One to authorize Elliot and Brett to work on that project. And then also the other one is for quote to rent some equipment, a Traco excavator from United Rentals. And I believe they asked for us for.
So it's a Traco and an excavator?
He's got on here, small one, he's got an excavator on this, I was just looking at it, but he had mentioned a Traco. And the amount being,
Excavators. Similar to the same thing. I just know if it was, we ended up.
he said something about they had changed the size of it. So this has sold by the week, and he had said he probably would rent it for like a week, and that amount is gonna be $2,854. No, he just gave this to me today. But it was on the agenda though, but I didn't have the information. I didn't know if we were gonna have the surveying information. I'll pass it down. I've circled what it costs for a week.
what it is that over, if you're familiar with West Valley Street, when you first come off of Memphis Street, going towards, the old Slim School, over to your left is a large drain pipe. It's been there for years since, some of us were kids. And, so it's been there for a while. It caved in at some point. And so not only is it part of the road, but it's the sidewalk. So you've got huge chunks of concrete that have come from someplace, as well as there is a sewer pipe and a drain pipe that are located there. So we need to first excavate and cut. There are a lot of trees and things. We've had to move a line, and we need something like a track holder, actually, or an excavator, to reach over to remove, the large debris. And so Mr. Fitz has assured that he's able to do that with that piece of equipment instead of us, hiring someone else to do it. So we're blessed in that regard. And then part of that, what they talked about is that we're going to have to go in and, rebuild the wall up. There was like a rail there. You're familiar with it. There was a rail there. And so instead of having that rail up, we want to build it up with something nice along with the new sidewalk. And then in the bottom of it, what they talked about, our expert, is that putting, concrete bottom in it to help with that, to keep it from having the debris to build up. And so right now, it's a pretty bad situation. So, that's why we're asking, for this. As Mr. Britt mentioned earlier, to declare this as an emergency. Right now, you can't walk on the sidewalk or even in an area. We got yellow tape around it right now. And so we're asking for, Elliott and Britt to be authorized to deal with it, and also, that we be authorized to rent, this backhoe for a week in the amount of, approximately $2,854.
So they're
You
on
think the
there, it's got a
delivery fee?
delivery charge and a pickup charge. What,
He's gonna,
they're gonna
he'll
waive
go-
that or, okay.
He normally goes to fix it up. Let me see if I can-
And do we need to wait on Mr. Brett to look at something before we rent this unit or?
He's gonna have to clear it out anyway, regardless of who does it, because what we don't want is for another large storm or something to come through and it can't pass, because it's already got issues on it. So we need to make sure that we go ahead and clear it out and clean it out now, because something will have to be done. Whether it's Elliott and Britt, IMS, or someone else, it's gonna have to be done. This will be where we will already have a jump on it, so that when they do, which Mr. Kevin McLeod has already come out, and looked at it and reviewed it for us. And I know he's going to call, some surveyors. Have they come? So that they've already been here, Ms. Lewis said, to look at it, because like I said, there's such a big gap. And what we don't want is for someone to remove the tape and someone decides that they can fly and, walk through it. So, but these are some of the numbers that we do have. Of course, we don't have a number. I don't know if they could even tell us at this point as to what it would cost for them, to do it. And so it's something we would have to just probably take out of contingency. So, is there a motion to authorize Elliott and Brett? I so moved. To do what? That's why I so moved. Oh, Jesus. Okay, it's been moved by Mayor Weldon to serve as the, I will say, to serve as the experts on this emergency project. Yeah. Okay, it's been moved by Alderman Mayor, second by Alderman Jones. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 5 ayes, 0 nays. Also, motion to authorize the rental of property from United Rentals and the amount of approximately $2,854 due to the emergency on West Valley Street. Is there a motion? Okay. It's been moved by Alderman Schiff. Is there a second?
What number is that on?
And second by Alderman Jones. All those in favor? All those opposed?
What was that, about 284?
Approximately $2,854. All those in favor? Motion passes 5 ayes, 0 nays.
Mayor, question on that. So it's a week. There, are we gonna go get it on a Monday?
I'm not sure.
Cause there, you're gonna pay extra if you try to keep that thing on the weekend, so.
I'm not sure. He probably wants to guess, we're probably not gonna have it today. But I don't know. He said we just feel like say something. But I don't know. I haven't driven one of those yet. So next is, and as I mentioned, okay, we're in a whole 16.
All right, Ms. Christie Owens has requested the closure of North Market Street from 12 p.m. until 10 p.m. On what day was that again? Oh,
April 26th, April 26th.
April 26th.
And this would just be the north of, yeah, just the small little area where the beauty shop, the beauty store used to be, where the pawn shop
The bed and
is.
breakfast.
Yes, ma'am. That little area right there, they do not need, police or fire, assistance.
Okay,
Stop reading my mind.
so this is for, you just blocking the part right where the alley is. So Apple Park.
Well, it's where the, pawn shop,
Shop.
the Bufords, and, the bed and breakfast.
I know, it's a street there, there's another street on
Yeah.
the other side of the park.
Right. You block off there at the old jail, so well, they can't come back through.
He's talking about closing off the entire thing, like behind the, park
Yeah.
and
Look
right
at
here.
there.
You go all the other side of the, people see us too, going back to Snell, you close the side out.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
but not that one strip right there on the
Yeah,
side of.
right, right.
Just that strip, but not the main street.
So this is for what event?
I
Black Fire.
party that, yeah.
So they get small cones if they don't want opposite.
Right.
That's all I'm asking because, I don't know if it's something private, how that does. But anyway, you see a motion?
Liability stuff, but.
No, we can put police if it's like a private party.
We have never had a discussion about anything else being closed, but we're gonna have to about this.
I'm fine.
I call for a motion. Okay.
I second.
It's been moved by Alderman Till, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, all right, so, 3 ayes, 1 nay in Fountain, and 1 absent in Jones. Next, look at you. Motion to authorize,
Street closure.
Yeah. Okay. All right, be
No,
careful.
ma'am.
all right, motion to authorize payment to poll workers, resolution board, committee members for the upcoming 2025 full primary runoff election. All right, is there a motion, number 18?
That was authorized by the poll workers. Members for the upcoming 2025 primary runoff election. I second.
It's been moved by Alderman Fountain, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes, 4 ayes, 0 nays. All right, next, you have, probably on your desk is a request for a beer and liquor license from Casa Fiesta Mexican Grill.
Number 19, Mayor.
Oh, did I skip one?
Yeah.
Oh.
19, you went to
Louis
19.
wants to get out of here. That's it. All right, item number, 19. Oh, that's right, I swapped the background. Motion to authorize zoning administrator, Ms. Pamela Lewis, to attend the 2025 Preservation Boot Camp on April 23rd through 24th, 2025 in Jackson, Mississippi. To include a registration fee of $40 plus hotel and per diem. I believe this is somewhat of a mandatory. We have to have a certain number of hours. For
So
this.
moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Alderman Merriweather, second by Alderman Chip. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes 4 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent in Teal. All right, next, item number 19A, Ms. Gonzalez, will you come forward, please? You can come forward as well. All right, so you have before you where the background check was conducted, and it was all clear. Ms. Lewis is here. Do you all have any questions for her or for Mrs. Gonzalez? No questions?
All clear?
If not, I'll entertain a motion to authorize them to have the beer and liquor license.
Yes, I sent everything in.
Ma'am?
I sent everything in.
Okay, yes, ma'am. We have a copy of the pack, so I'm just
Okay.
asking them if they have any questions or concerns about it, and then they'll have to vote on it.
Oh, okay,
Yes, ma'am.
got it, yes, ma'am.
But I appreciate it. Okay, it's been moved by Alderman Fountain. Second. Second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor?
Aye.
Do not. All those opposed? Motion passes, 4 ayes, 0 nays. If you'll get with Ms. Lewis, and then she'll tell you what the next steps are. When is your restaurant opening?
We're hoping either this coming Monday or next.
Okay, all right, and they're right here on the corner across from the post office.
Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
So we're very excited. Welcome to Holly Springs, the city of history and hospitality.
Oh, thank you.
We look forward to coming and checking out your business. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. We look forward on opening soon as well, and we'll be inviting y'all for our opening date, so we'll be letting y'all know. We appreciate it very much. Thank y'all. Nice meeting y'all.
Nice to meet you. Have a good night. All right, and you took care of Ms. Lewis. Item number 20, motion to authorize Chief Rodney Crane, Captain Kevin White, Assistant Chief Shane Womack to attend the MEMA conference in Biloxi, Mississippi on May 20th, 2025, through May 23rd. No course fee, no registration fee, no hotel fee, and they're paying for everything themselves at this moment from what I've been advised. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there a motion?
I so move.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Alderman Merriweather, second by Alderman Schiff. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes, 4 ayes, 0 nays, and 1 absent in Teal. All right, item number 21, motion to authorize Chief Rodney Crane, Assistant Chief Shane Womack, Captain Kevin White, and Captain Michael Holmes to attend the Chief Annual Conference in Vicksburg, Mississippi, May 28th through June 1st, 2025. Captain Holmes will be promoted to designated chief officer. No course fee, no registration fee, and no hotel fee. Everything is provided on their own. The employees are paying for it themselves. And so, well, I have concerns about that, but we'll talk about that another day. I had talked about taking it. Well, when the budget was created, it limited, that's what y'all did. It limited the amount for the training for the department. And so the fire department has a lot of training that they're required to do. They're also that we are blessed and so proud of them that we have members of our fire department that are representing us on a major level. Captain White, tell us the positions that our firemen hold.
We start as the chief, and we come down to the assistant chief, and we got captain, lieutenant, and we have firefighters. So that's several positions that we hold. We also have training division. Now we're going to promote Michael Holmes as the chief officer, for he to be the chief officer overall training for the fire department. I myself will be promoted to deputy chief. That means that I'll be over the shifts and make sure they ran like they're supposed to be.
And this
But talk about what the MEMA, that organization is, where you all represent the city, where I believe Chief Crane is actually the president or the chairman.
Yes.
Tell us about those things, because that's part of what they're going and representing us. So I also believe, we did the last one and we took some of the funds from another area in the budget, because I myself had an issue with that, but that's something I want to talk with you all at a latter date about amending the budget so that we can make sure that our employees are properly covered. But tell us about the positions that you all hold.
Chief Crane has been promoted to, I think he's vice chairman for the Mississippi Municipal Emergency Management. And now we've been in that organization now for the last probably 5 years. And then what it does is, like with the storms we're having, we have to deal with those. We also have to, we're on a task force that we have to assist other towns, counties if they need it, but they also bring them in to assist us if we need it. If we'd had a major storm come through here the other night, we could have brought in 100, 200 people in just in quick. So we need them, they there for us.
because of that representation
Yes,
and the leadership that you all provide
Yes, ma'am.
to firemen throughout. It's a statewide organization,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am, it is.
And so Chief Crane right now is the chairman for the state.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I wanted to make sure we understood that, but they have opted because of the fact of how the budget was done, the training is somewhat depleted, and they realize the importance of this. So on this one, these two that you see, they have opted to pay for it themselves. All right, is there a motion for the last? Did we do the first one? Let's do 20.
We did 20.
We did 20, okay, 21. Is there a motion?
So,
Is there a second? It's been moved by Alderman Schiff, second by Alderman Johnson. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes 4 ayes and 1 absent. Teal. All right, item number 22. Motion to authorize bomb explosive training for Mr. Roderick Robinson, Mr. Laron Weeks in Mexico course with no per diem or hotel to be funded by Homeland Security.
Yes, sir.
Move to authorize government exposure training for Mr. Roderick Robinson, Mr. Leroy Weeks, Mexico. Of course, with no per diem or hotel to be funded by Homeland Security.
Is there a second?
In Mexico.
You graduated from Holly Springs High School. So you got
What part of Mexico?
I have no idea. I don't.
What about,
We have several of our farmers that been already to the class. Yeah, we have, I think at least 5 or 6 that have already made that class.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
who moved it?
Move Alderman Schiff.
I second by Alderman Johnson.
Oh, okay. you did. Okay, thank you. All right. When is it?
Chief didn't give me a date.
Well, these are the training.
That's number 23. That's number 23.
Do you know the
No.
name?
That's number 23. That's Mr. Bubba.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted to be there. Okay. All right. So, all right, all those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes 4 ayes, 0 nay, and 1 absent and Teal. Next, item number 23, motion to authorize Mr. G.A. Ray Bobo to be promoted to full-time position with a salary increase of 15 kids.
Jeray.
Huh?
Jeray.
Jeray?
Joe Ray.
Jeray.
Oh, I kept wondering why.
Joe Ray.
That's cute. So, Bobo.
Yes.
We just hired him as part-time, but an opening came up, and so he's moved to full-time. That's probably why.
Yes.
All right, is there a motion? I so moved. It's been moved by Alderman Jones, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 4 ayes and 0 nays and 1 absent in Teal. All right, item number 24.
All right, we thank the board.
Thank you so much, Captain White. Yes, sir. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you all so much for coming out, Russ College. We appreciate you all. Thank you all. Russ College. They was honors. All right. Item number 24, motion to authorize refund to Ms. Kimberly A. Bailey King in the amount of $159.56 due to meter being misread. And what happened was, this was someone who was on the automatic draft. And so with the misread, it automatically came out. So we need to refund them for the money. Sometimes if they come in and there's a mistake, it can be corrected on the front end. But this time, their money had already been taken out. When people look back at it, they realized that a mistake had indeed occurred.
Why did it come out of the utilities department?
Ma'am?
Is it from the utilities department?
Yes, it is.
So did it something gotta hurt their budget?
Yeah, it is gonna, this is to be paid to a customer from the utility.
Oh, I thought
department.
it would be on their,
Everybody's on the same agenda.
Oh, the docket.
I think they forgot to add it or something, so they emailed me today and asked me to include it. So that the lady could see for money. It's a motion to authorize the payment. Is there a motion?
I move to authorize, refund for this particular event, King, and about $5, which way leader, being this rate.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Alderman Schiff, second by Alderman Jones. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes 4 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent in Teal. All right, city general bills and claims. Okay, Alderman Fountain says she has a question.
well, I see a couple of here, for recreation supplies, we pay a person for recreation supply, what is that about?
That's a refund.
Refund for, they
Baseball.
signed up for baseball. I didn't know what recreation supplies.
Yeah. They signed up for baseball and they didn't have enough for a team.
Okay. And I got another one, it's one of $640 for election expense.
Wait a minute, who's the vendor?
Breakfast sandwiches, lunch special.
There was a sandwich.
This one right here? It's for lunch and breakfast. We just had one on the first agenda for lunch and breakfast. It was the same amount.
It's on the election expense, but it's
It's election expense.
it's for food.
Yes. Mhm.
So this is for the upcoming one? Is that
Yes.
what so you're.
For the 22nd.
You're
We already paid
requesting it, the authorization beforehand, and then once you have the actual invoice, you'll pay it. I think the last time it was,
The invoice is in there already. And so after she'll be paid that Wednesday. After the election. Latanya Scruggs is the owner of that company. It's signed at the bottom.
Oh, yeah. There's her name.
Yes. Latanya Scruggs at the bottom.
Oh, you wrote it.
She wrote, she
Right
signed.
there.
Yes. She signed.
Okay.
And she is registered with the state and she does have a privilege license through the city. Yes.
I make the motion.
okay, all right, so move by Alderman Fountain, second by Alderman Maryweather. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes, 3 ayes, 1 nay, and 1 absent in T. All right, item number 26, city utility bills and claims.
Been doing it for years.
Item number 26, city utility bills and claims. Is there a motion to approve the utility bill? It's the move by Alderman Jones. Did you second that motion? Second by Alderman Fountain. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion.
Thanks for me.
Okay.
That time.
It's a nay for me too.
All right. So 2 ayes and 2 nays. All right, and I will break that tie. And, yes, as I expressed, you all did receive your packs a little bit later because they were in the clerk's office and I have not been in the clerk's office due to various concerns with the election going on. So I don't think I've been in the clerk's office since December. Since December, based on some things that were said. So I did not go in. They were left in the clerk's office over the weekend, so I did not go in to get them. Ms. Jones did come up and move them later for me, but I have been very concerned about all of that and making sure that we have no room for any accusations or allegations to be made regarding that. All right, so next, motion to approve the minutes for, March 18th, 2025, regular board meeting, April 1st, 2025, regular board meeting, there was no quorum, and then also April the 2nd, special call meeting, minutes. All right. Is there a motion to approve those? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Smooth Alderman Jones, second by Alderman Ship. All those in favor?
Fountain.
A fountain.
Oh, Fountain, what I call you? My apologies. My apologies to you. My apology again. We'll do that 3 times, one for the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Oh.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Nay? Nay. All right, so that's 2 ayes, 2 nays. And I will break that tie again. All right. And then item 27D, which it really should have been the 27A because this is under that, but we won't close over that. The next item, Christmas lights, Alderman Ship, you added this to the agenda. And you talked with me about this earlier regarding that it was approved. And as I mentioned to you earlier when we talked, I need to check to make sure because it wasn't included in the totals of the budget. So I want to make sure as to how we go about and do that. And so as I expressed, I'll do that tomorrow. And if I'm not comfortable with it or something, then I'll definitely let you know. But I just want to make sure that I get something back from them saying that even though it wasn't a part of the total budget, that we can do that, not just for that, but for some other matters as well. You have any?
Well, this check is coming out too, so I don't.
Right, that's why I'm not sure as to how that's done, and we've kind of talked about it some, so I want to find out tomorrow just to make sure.
Yeah.
As to how it was to be done, before I sign a check regarding it. So as I mentioned to you, it probably won't be a problem, probably up on once all the elections and everything's over, then if it is something that needs to be budgeted, there shouldn't be a problem amending the budget to do it. Item number 27.
One more thing now, this item is in a couple of months ago. Time is of the essence on this because we have a special discount. So if we can get this done by tomorrow, I would appreciate it.
I will do my best, as I mentioned to you, that I will email them tomorrow so that I can get clarification and have it in writing because even though it has been a while, I want to make sure before I sign off on it, or before you sign off on it. All right.
Question, so
Yes.
what would you want it for us to move on it?
We need to move.
It was approved already.
Yeah.
The question is, because the funds are not in the actual budget, I want to get some information as to the proper way to do that. I have a concern about it, before I sign the check. So, as I talked with him earlier, I'm gonna email the gentleman who will provide me something back so that I can have some comfort with it. And as I mentioned to him, I will let him know tomorrow afternoon and then, he can, let him know. And hopefully he'll say that's fine, because there's some other things I would like to see us do with tourism funds. But I want to, the additional funds, I want to make sure that, as to how it's placed, in regard to the budget, that we're doing it properly.
Upon this tomorrow, I would like to, you find the answer out for a check to be cut. And if you don't feel comfortable with it, I'll come sign it. Because like I said, time is of the essence and this is being carried on to you.
Even with the time, I'm gonna make sure that I'm comfortable, with it, but now that's something that you can seek if you, want to. You can seek that now, but I'll still check with them tomorrow in regard to how tourism funds are. But you can seek that. If you want a motion authorizing you to do that without it being checked out, then that's on you. That's fine.
Well, that's it after you check on it tomorrow.
Well, you just keep repeating it, so I wanted to let you know that there will be no harm feelings if you decided to do that.
Gotcha.
So my question then would be, so how long have we been asking for this? I know the mayor said she's gonna check on it tomorrow. Why wouldn't we take on?
It's been a couple of years because we brought the information back.
It hasn't been a couple of
We
years.
brought information back a long time ago. We looked at it.
Yeah, I put it on the agenda, let's go back. I put it on the agenda several years ago, and more than once, we have authorization to buy not only Christmas lights, but also, to buy, playground equipment with these same funds that I was successful in obtaining for the city from the beginning. So if we want to go back, we can go back, but, as I mentioned, I'm leaving here at 7.
But I do understand his concern because that's one thing that the city has, wanted. We want to be in the Christmas, we want lights for Christmas. We bought some Mr. LaSure in the past and everything was beautiful. But, we just want the city to obtain some that they own. Because we can't, Mr. LaSure may not want to let us borrow them again, and we haven't bought any. And we had the opportunity to buy from him and we didn't, but we don't want to miss that opportunity.
Right, I just want to make sure the record is clear that I also want to come and put them on, but as always, it was always, time that's passed, 3 years. And so, and I did put it on there and, also obtained the funds for those items. So as we tell it and as we become impatient, take a note from our patients as well. All right, item number 27E, ARPA funds.
Okay, I would like to update on the ARPA funds. Have all checks been sent out to all the vendors? And also the contract with the county. Just the update and clarification on.
Oh, I'm glad to talk about the contract with the county. Well, we received approval for it, went over to the county, talked, with them. The chairman, Mr. Terry, said that if we met with his folks, and found out what the cost would be, and then we would see how to move forward. We met with, Mr. Jeffries, I believe his first name is Mario, Mr. Mario Jeffries, and, his assistant, right here in this room. Then we worked out as to probably what would be the best streets from what our engineers had already proposed for repairs. Then our team went out with his team, did a visual of it, came back and put something together as to what it was going to take and when. At this point, I'm still waiting on Mr. Terry and the county to express as to what's the holdup. Now, during one meeting when I was there, for some reason, Mr. Terry said that it would probably be September before they were able to do something, but you'll have to ask him in regard to that. Your other question as to, and I'm hoping that he'll move soon. I don't understand it myself. I have inquired. I've actually gone to the meeting myself and actually put in some calls regarding that to see about moving it forward because the city has completed everything that was asked of it. And then as far as the other, all the checks have not gone out yet. I know there's one that we still have in regard to Sacred Heart, and that's on me for sure on that one. But I did put in a call and an email to someone that I needed to get clarification from, and I have not received a response back from that because I need to know how to move forward. It was definitely my recommendation and my suggestion to do it with Sacred Heart, so there's no issue with them. I just need an answer to a question. And so once I get that answer, then we can move forward, but the check has actually already been cut. Because as I mentioned, it was my recommendation and you all voted for it, thank God. And that came from $1.9 million in ARPA funds that I was blessed to obtain once I was in office. So as soon as I get that question answered, then we can get that one too.
So all funds secure? You still have the money?
What do you mean by all funds secure? I'm not sure.
All funds,
I don't understand.
the contracts that we had, all of these, they got a deadline. So is all the money still in place, or did any money go back?
As far as I know, I don't think any has gone back at this time. As you know, it was something, too, that I have brought to you all many times as far as uses to it. You all did not move until the deadline. At that point in time, even when I made recommendations during the last week, nobody wanted to move forward. People put some in a budget, the budget that we're having challenges with at this point in time, the reason that the firemen don't have training funds. And so then, of course, we worked to clean it up because you couldn't just lump money in to the budget. And so at that point in time, I did go back and look at it and found a way to salvage as much as possible. And so that's what you see as far as the outline, because it had to be designated. And so we did do that. I believe that was a special meeting that you all called on December 26th, the day after Christmas. At that point, I did present to you all again some numbers that I had presented previously, and so those were approved. And so under the research that we did, if we had a contract and something in place, then that should have made it where it would be okay. But prior to that, nothing else had been presented. And so if that did go back, you know, God help us, God bless us. But I did everything I could to save it because of the fact that it was very important. And I couldn't help as far as the delay with it or how it was done by certain members of the board, but I did work to do everything that I salvaged. I remember I had a conversation with Alderman Hampton. I said, well, what, because I almost didn't come that next day. And so I had to put something on hold because those funds were more important, a priority, I should say. They weren't more important than what I had on my agenda for the day after Christmas, but they were definitely a priority. And so I came, and I'm grateful that at that moment that you all did vote for those recommendations. So at this point in time, no, I'm sure at some point the government will look at everyone, including ours, to see if it met their requirements. But in that late date, we did the best that we could, and hopefully they will accept it. But as far as the main ones that have not been out, because the contract has been signed with Sacred Hearts. But as far as the county, they did not, the majority of them did not have an issue with it. In fact, some of them have asked me if we've started on it and what's the holdup. And so, but I can't speak for them. I can only let you know that everything that was asked of the city, from the meeting, from the providing of the streets, from our team going out, all of that's been done.
So what's the holdup with Sacred Heart? We promised not just you, Madam Mayor, but the board, we agreed and approved the money to assist with utility bills for our citizens of our great city. And by the way, thank you to Ward 4 citizens for allowing me to serve 4 more years as unopposed, but we promised them. So what is the holdup? I mean, because some of these responses are ambiguous. They're confusing. There's no clear answer. And I don't know about anyone else, but the day for throwing blame, our citizens do not need that. What they are wanting for us to do is to move forward. I agree with Mr. Jim Smith, who comes up here every meeting, repeating the same problems. My question I was going to ask him is, how long have you been asking for these issues to be resolved? And I would say, since I've been your alderman 3.5 years, under different leadership, including our mayor and Mr. Jones. So everyone bears the responsibility. However, what we're looking for are answers. We're looking for production. We're looking for things to take place, to be resolved, and not to give us, oh, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to send the email. I understand clearly the frustration with the Christmas lights. That has been on the agenda. Whether you want to twist words and say, I brought it to you all and you didn't do it, or I brought it to you and we talked about it, but we didn't get a clear answer, that's because we don't get clear answers in many instances. And so for the Christmas lights and for this situation that we're discussing now, in terms of this money for the opera fund, have we used the money? Is Sacred Heart, where are we with the applications? Or with the application, or with moving forward with getting our citizens' utility bills paid or giving them some assistance. This money is here. And so where are we with getting that done? I mean, it's okay to say it's on me, but then what am I going to do to move that forward? And that's what I'm looking for as a board member.
Well, let me say this, it definitely is not about blame, but it is about facts. It is about, if we're going to tell it, we're going to tell the truth about it. It is about, as I like to say, standing on business. And the receipts are there. People can look at the different agendas to see how many times it was presented and how it was presented. I have answered the questions for that tonight. I will not repeat.
no matter how loud people get or whatnot. I've answered the questions, and that's where I stand with it. And I'm not going to repeat myself regarding it, because I have looked out for the city. I have answered questions. I too agree with many of the things that others have said. It is a tragedy that it has taken 4 years to move forward because people didn't like if something was presented or that I presented it. And now at this moment, you didn't want to move forward earlier when Meriwether was talking. And so, the results come when people, if someone brings something to you and that it is something that makes sense, then you move forward on it. The personalities or the politicking is something that has been going on for 4 years. And so it's really sad. And so I've answered the question. So at this time, we have several matters that people have talked about needing to go into executive session. And I will entertain a motion to go into closed session to determine the need of executive session. And I will let those know at home, as I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, I do need to leave at 7 o'clock, and so I'll do my best to get the business taken care of. So is there a motion to go into closed session?
I move to go into closed session.
All right, is there a second? Is the move on?
For an executive session.
All right, yeah, so the second, all right. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes, 4 ayes, 0. Ma'am?
We can get for the second, sure.
Yep. All right, 0 nays and 1 absent in Teal. You get it home?
I didn't get one.
I'm not going to get one of the other things.
They got one last week.
Right. The board voted to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters in the police department and also land and prospective litigation matters. We'll be with you shortly. All right, Mr. Brett. I think yours might be the quickest. All right. Mr. Brett, I called him.
The piggies.
All right, the board voted to come out of the executive session. As I mentioned earlier, I will be, in fact, I'm a bit late on my schedule. But I will say, that we did have a few, items that occurred. Madam City Clerk, will you announce those actions that occurred in executive session?
It was a motion made by Alderman Fountain, second by Alderman Merriweather to designate Larry Britt and Associates to negotiate as the acquisition officer for the Hill Street, Cuba Street project. That passed with 4 ayes. A second motion to declare Hill Street, Cuba Street project as an emergency based off of the expert's opinion and to do the emergency bids. There was a motion made by Alderman Merriweather, second by Alderman Fountain. 4 ayes.
All right. So, all right, as I mentioned, earlier, I'm actually 30 minutes late. So I will be in the building, for my, and so I'm going to be turning it over, to Alderman, Kim. Everyone have a great night. Huh?
Y'all got anything? You go ahead.
Oh, okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Oh, fuck. Oh. This time we will have,
Good evening, everyone. I'm gonna try to make this quick here. I know everybody want to get out of here. I had like 3 items that I wanted to present. See, it didn't get placed on the agenda. First item I had was I was requesting permission for Officer Steve English, Deron Bolo, Samuel Harris, and Micah Bingham to attend a class in Polk, Mississippi. It's a free class, April the 22nd. Just get asking permission to attend that class. It's a free class.
1 day class.
Yes. So free training on that's given by the MBI Training Initiative on courtroom testimony, crime scene, fingerprints. And it's part of their 24 hours continued training.
There's meals and per diem.
No, we're not requesting any of that.
what's the names?
Steve English, Jerome Bobo, Samuel Harris, and Michael Bean.
What's the date of the thing?
April 22nd.
22nd, 1 day.
Yes.
And where is it located?
Polk, Mississippi. That's Polk, P-O-P-E.
P.O.P.
That's in Nola County,
Okay.
down by Batesville.
Oh,
English, Bubba, and
Harris and Bingham. Samuel Harris, Michael Bingham.
Yes. I make the motion.
a second.
it's been moved by Alderwoman
Okay.
Fountain, and second by Alderwoman Merriweather, that the police department, following officers, Steve English, Jerome Bobo, Samuel Harris, and
Michael Bingham.
Bing. Attend the MBA training. Mississippi on April 27, 2025. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. 3 ayes,
Yeah.
1 absent, and 2. What you got?
Also, the police department received a donation, a check that was donated to the police department from Taylor Grocery in Oxford, Mississippi. I'm requesting permission to accept the check and do what we need to do with it.
Who is it made out to?
It's made out to the
It has my name in it, plus the police department.
And
It's
it's your name on it.
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes. It's $400 check.
Made that be $400.
It's to you and the police department.
Yes,
Or in care of the police.
All right, is there a motion to accept a check from Taylor Grocery in the amount of $400?
Do we need that? It's made out of his name, do we need to accept that, cause it's not gonna be going in
The police department.
or is it a human care of the police department? Or is
It sounds like it's made to him and the police. Is it
It's
to
made
him?
to two people?
uh-huh.
Need a motion.
Yeah, you do.
I move. I'd like to move by Alderman Jones, is there a second?
Authorize a cash check, but authorize him to hand it over to the city and be reimbursed. So what are you doing?
He's gonna go to the clerk's office, and if he wanna buy a badge or like a extra or something, he's still gonna go through the claims. It's still gonna go to the clerk's office.
Hold up. So what I'm trying to clear, if they made out a check specifically for the police department, he's not trying to put it in a line item. He wanted to give it to you and you give him his $400 back.
No,
No.
that's not what he's saying.
That's what you wanted. Oh, yes, it
well,
is.
That's what you want.
It is what he wanted.
Right.
We got options like that too.
Something like petty cash or something. I don't
I don't want to take it back out on the line.
Oh, no.
They want to
Right.
No donation like
So
this.
if you turn the full city budget on this motion, that money is deposited into the city's
Yeah.
Well,
account.
if you don't want it done like that, maybe you need to go back and tell
Tell
them,
them
we
make
write
that
the
to
check
you.
just to you, personally to you.
Yeah, because other than that, it's gonna
Well-
go into this.
You see what I'm
budget.
saying?
Okay, well, yeah, I don't want to go through all of that. I can just give it to the city and I can get it
Okay,
from,
you might.
yeah, hopefully.
You
Yeah,
give it to the city, it belongs to the city. Then go on it, just a line item for police department.
Right, it's just
He can put it back
Yeah.
in his supply budget or training budget or something like that.
okay, yeah, I can
So
see
if you
it.
know exactly, especially what you want to use it for, we go ahead and accept it, and then you get your, whatever, your PO, your post, the clerk's office, and we'll take care of it.
Oh, okay.
On
Yeah.
claims document.
So we just accept it.
Anytime it's a check with the city name on it, y'all need to make a motion.
Motion
to
to accept, so we accepting the check right now, right?
Well, you made the motion.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Then moved by Alderman Jones, second by Alderwoman Merriweather, all in favor? All opposers? Same like, the ayes have it, 3-0.
Okay, my last item that I had, I think I had came up here, maybe about a month and a half ago about, Officer, Bogo going back to, detectives. And, at that time, I think I was advised that the city attorney had to look into it as far as a pay. But at this time, I prefer it to make it easier for everybody if we can, I'm requesting that the detectives go back to hourly rate of pay. I know they on salary now. Well, one of them is on salary. And the other one is not. So,
Because he had.
yeah,
That'll
because,
transfer back.
yeah, because he got transferred to patrol, and now he's back in detectives. And so it had me on hold for a while, but I don't want this continue what with one of them being on.
You want both of them to be the same
hourly.
thing or whatever. it's
Yeah,
gonna be.
He's the
yeah.
same sign. Comes to budget time too.
You want to wait the budget time on something like that.
Wait,
Because
what
it's
is,
already budgeted, based on the standards that were proposed on, at the beginning of this fiscal year. So you have to wait until budgeting time for us to, convert back to hours.
I guess
Okay.
you're not approving the matter of transfer back to detective. Because your detective division, you want salary.
Yeah, my detective vision, I want it to be hourly. It's salary now, I want it to be hourly.
That's what he's talking about, be back in budget
Right,
time.
they have to,
Yeah.
Take that back in budget time.
there have to be a budget change,
Okay,
because the budget already approved.
Okay, so in the meantime, what are we doing with that one employee that's
I think they keep saying he's not gonna,
What is it that you've made him go back to being a detective?
yes.
And how are the detectives being paid right now? Hourly?
Well, he's
detectives on salary, patrolman on hourly, when they were short on patrol, they put him on patrol.
So he'd be salary.
You wanna put it back to salary? He got his same salary?
It would have to be, because
Yeah,
you
it
can't
need
change,
back.
you can't change the budget midstream, but you can change you can change his
Transfer.
transfer, you can transfer him. And then he'd just be making
So,
whatever the
I-
salary is for that job.
okay.
Back to patrol.
With his
Back
same
to, back to
salary.
detective.
Back to detective at that salary.
His salary is whatever that is, but I can make that motion. I know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, you compete, yeah. I got you.
Joe, the first thing he said he wanted his detectives to go back to salary. This is gonna do it at budget. But this guy, he want to transfer
To be a detective.
back to detective, back on salary.
That's what you want, cause you, that's
Cause
what
he's
you.
not gonna get.
Yes,
out.
since we can't change it midstream as far as the budget is concerned, yeah. I would like them to be hourly, but so you said we have to wait until budget time.
Next year concerned, with making it hourly, but making him a detective
They go
and
back to
paying
salary.
him the same as all the detectives across the board.
Yes.
You can do that now.
Yeah. We said,
That would require action also. I think you had to, it would require, still require a motion, you gotta be second.
The motion was to transfer him back to detective with a salary.
At the same salary.
The
that
same
he
salary he was at first.
yes.
What was that?
Oh, shit. And it's been moved by Alderman Franklin, second by Alderman Jones, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed have the same right? Motion carried, we go.
Okay. That's it. That's all I had.
Create a math problem for public.
All right. Any more department heads? Get out of here at 8:00.
What time is it?
It's 7:48.
Okay, all right, I'll try.
They said we're gonna be finished by 7:49.
Don't make it.
Thank you.
Try to be quick.
Should try and quit though.
Thank you. That's the thing. To your No, that's information for y'all to read. I'm gonna be quick. You can read the rest of it. You can read it at I recommend that you do read. First thing first, what is it, Attorney Perry, when you have to do something retroactively? We had some training that had to be done. It's ratified, yeah. Locating and damage investigation training was on April the 3rd. And we found out about it late, but our guys went to the training. It was $112 for two people, because the class was free. They just had to stay in the hotel. But it was location and damage training for locating and damage investigation training was on April 3rd. It was for Ivory Stewart and Dewan Wells. So
And when you said they had to go, it was mandatory, or they just had to go for continuing training or certification?
the certification to be able to do the locating. It's the 811 locating emergency training. So you gotta, when we get that call, you gotta, you have to have somebody that knows how to do it. So that needs to be, what's that word?
Ratified.
Ratified.
And we owe them how much, say?
$112 for Ivory Stewart and Dewan Wells.
And that's just for a hotel? stay?
That's just for a hotel.
They stayed how many days?
One? It was one.
What about Tucker?
Nah, Mr. Tucker didn't go.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
it's just
found
those
out,
three.
yeah, it's just those two.
I mean, just those two of them.
Just those two. Mr. Tucker didn't go.
I have no motion.
Motion has been made by Alderwoman Fountain. That we
Second.
Ratified.
we ratify the hotel price in the amount of $224 for Ivory Stewart and who else?
Dewan Wells.
And Dewan Wells.
Is it plus travel per diem or just the $112?
It's the hotel fee. It's all,
It's the hotel.
Okay.
but she's saying. Right. The motion for the hotel fee, what they asked for.
All right, it's been moved by Alderwoman Fountain. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderwoman Marybeth. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed have the same right? Motion carried 3-0. That's it.
That's it for that. Now I go, there's some things I gotta tell y'all. I had a request from MEMA, Mississippi Emergency Management Association. This is about the tornado and cost estimates. They want HSUD and the city to produce some cost estimates for for the county to meet their emergency management. So I'm working on that in conjunction with the city to do that. I just wanted to make you aware of that's the first step to be reimbursed via FEMA if it goes that far. But you have to meet the county threshold, then you have to meet the MEMA threshold, then you have to meet the federal FEMA threshold. So this is just the initial step, working on the estimates, which is the cost of the labor, the cost of the materials, which is, they tell me, this is my first time doing it, but it's pretty, I talked to Ms. Jones about it. We got one account for everything at HSUB, so we can do it, but I'll just make you aware of that MEMA asked for that. Okay. The next thing I got to tell you about is our billing. Our billing is going to be delayed at HSUD because the firewall has not been installed as far as the software is concerned. And our billing is currently going to be 3 weeks behind. Now, I have spoken with the gentleman at CSA, Matt Coward. I've spoken with GE. I've spoken with Derek Jefferson. I've spoken with Richard Boga. It is unconscionable at this time that it is taking this long to install the Fortinet firewall, and it's April 15th. Each day, the delay puts our billing further behind, which means the bills are going to be late to the customers. And that means that we are not going to be able to collect the funds to make the payments, to use to pay, the bills at the utility department. And this firewall could have been installed in a matter of days, according to experts that I've talked to.
Now, you sent an email pertaining.
Yes, I
pertaining to
did.
That, did you all get that? You sent it about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago.
Right, yeah.
So what is the holdup with the firewall? Because we discussed that a couple of months ago.
The holdup with the firewall, from my estimation, from talking with the people that I talked to, is that we are trying to solve a technology problem on old software when we are going to buy a new AMI system. We will gain knowledge as far as how to set up a firewall with an old GE system, but that's not what we're in business for. We're not in business for people to develop knowledge. We're in business to get the revenue, the billing, and move on. And so, and it's not that, we can't make it better, but the idea was we need we need that system, AMI system working so the bills don't fall further behind and the billing doesn't fall further behind. And I wanted to bring that to your attention. I've sent emails about this. I think and I think it's critical that we get that software installed. And I have, I have sent emails stating just that. And this is taken, I would be negligent if I didn't mention this.
Okay, so I may be a little. So who is supposed to install the firewall?
Well, Mr. Jefferson is installing it now.
So,
Myself.
He's supposed, he's working, yeah, he's here. He's working with a CSA.
So,
Want to sit
that's,
Sure.
so, first of all, about this firewall thing. I was contacted last week about the time we talked about it up here.
yeah.
All right, now when I talked to GE, it was months ago back in November. And reached out to Wayne Johnson. So that's where LaShawn telling me it's been over 3 months ago that he's been knowing about it. Now with this firewall thing, I have to confirm that. Now, we had a lot of outdated information. Cisco, we don't have access to. That was installed over a decade ago. Now, anytime you're dealing with stuff like that, you want to make sure you got the correct information. You want to verify all of that because I'm going to bring CSA out. If we got CSA coming out to assist us. So I need to have everything in order before I have them to come out. Finally got in touch with Max South. We usually have counts with study tests. Come to find out that ain't who was with. So we're doing MAC filtering on their gateways. So with the gateways, you can't access them until you get the correct static IP and to which I got them to remove the MAC filter. So now I'm able to access that gate. So that was the issue. That's the reason why we had to wait. So initially, when I spoke with Daniel and the guy that assisted Daniel 10 years ago, it took them 2 months to get this thing installed. Now, the way they did it, they set it up using antennas, ubiquity antennas, where the signal is not so great. So I'm undoing all of that to do it a different way where it's going directly to GE instead of using antennas off of a water tower or relaying all the way back to GE, back to SSUD.
Thank you.
Which is just stupid to me. But it is what it is. I got it when I got it. And I've been working on it nonstop. So one thing I can tell you, and y'all know for a fact, once my hands get on it, it's gonna get done. And when I do it, I'm gonna make sure it's done right. So that's the situation. I'm not trying to rush it. I know in the military I had a boss that was an old sergeant. He used to tell me all the time, go slow to go fast. So that's what I'm trying to make sure. Because I understand this is something we can't play around with.
So what's the timeline we're looking at?
I'm hoping by end of next week we'll have at least 70% of it back up. Yeah. Because the third part, I'm gonna have to read something up to make it work. So which I don't want to go into detail because he can't get James with all that stuff. So
speaking of this situation, since we own this stuff, now we need to go ahead. So, well, I don't know how it works with the municipalities as far as how we can purchase meter system. Uh, the best thing that I recommend is that Nighthawk meter system that I've brought up here to y'all. Uh, I know y'all probably can't make it right now, but I guess after the election, jump on that ASAP. So that'd be the best thing. The reason why I recommend that because when I sat down and looked at everything, one thing my college professor, Dr. Wiseman, taught me, because he have a consultation business and an engineering business. You don't only look at the technology, you look at the staff as well, what's more suited for that staff, what they're capable of doing. Nighthawk is more capable for our staff and how short-handed we are. Because what Richard them can do and the other meter guys with that system, they can come up to it. If it's not working, like when we had that blackout with meters for all those months, just go up there and change out the meter, plug it in, put the new GPS information in, and you back up and roll. They ain't got to try to go up on no old nothing. So I do recommend that, but as far as those firewalls, it will be back up.
Right.
I was told that the firewall could be installed in a matter of days at the most.
Notified 3 months in advance.
That there was an email stating that GE was going to change their firewall, but they didn't say they were going to change it. They notified that they were going to change it. They changed it when their system went down because they had a hacking incident and it was down for so many days when we weren't able to read meters and before they brought it back up. That's when they announced that they were going to change the firewall. That was back in May, not November, when they actually said, okay, we're going to change our firewall now. I have that email.
But he just,
He just showed us an email saying that you and Richard knew about this 3 months prior.
I knew that GE was planning on changing their firewall. Yes, but they didn't say that, but they said, get ready. They sent out an announcement that they were going to, take steps to change their firewall. They didn't say we're going to change our firewall by a certain date. They told us in November that they're going to change their firewall. Yes, but they said they were going to actually do it when they had their problem with their network, when it went down, when they were hacked. I got the emails for that. That's when they said, okay, everybody, we are going to change our firewall today. They didn't give us a schedule in November and say, or a certain date when it was going to be done. No.
well,
Who's got GE meters in?
Aberdeen has GE meters. Yeah, they don't have the same issues, but their firewall was set up in a matter of hours. I talked to the guy at CSA. He told me they have set up 50 firewalls for local power companies in a matter of hours. And I'm not saying that what Mr. Jefferson is trying to do is what I'm saying is that problem he's solving for the GE system, that's old technology. Our system could be up and running just like it was. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I thought we just heard Jefferson speak to some of the issues that our system is having that has caused him some delay. That's what he just spoke to, if I would gather what he just said. However, He did say 70% will be up by next Friday, and then he will have to the other 30%.
Because I just taking the CSA and see
Yeah.
schedule.
So, go ahead.
See what CSA schedule is,
About,
when they can dispatch somebody.
okay,
For the 30%.
for the
For
30%.
the 75.
What's it?
But the 75%, our goal is next Friday.
But see if they can come out on Saturday because they have they have to oversee everything and a whole bunch of places. So it probably be Saturday when they can actually dispatch somebody.
Okay,
But if we
Next
can get it
Saturday.
up by next Friday, that'd be perfect.
okay. That's our goal.
Have it up by next weekend.
Okay. Okay.
So, I'm just confused about, G,
Pardon me?
I'm just confused about the communication with you guys and GE. So they sent out a general email 3 months prior saying that we're gonna change, firewalls, not giving a specific date or anything.
Yeah, they planning on changing the firewall. They made an announcement.
If they did that, that'd be. Okay.
My last statement is our billing could be up and running right now, and but I serve at your pleasure.
How can it be, who's, or you saying somebody holding it up? Is that what you're saying?
All I'm saying that I was told that Fortinet firewall could be installed in a matter of days.
Okay, so what's the hold?
The holdup is that that's what I asked to be done, that it be installed as it is. And all I've been told is that we got to go through this step, we got to go through that step, we got to do this. In my mind, that is old technology, that is solving an old technology problem, because that system is 10 years old.
Okay. So I'm just confused because once you got the email about the firewall being changed, did you consult with anybody?
Yes, I did. When I got when GE said they were going to change their firewall, once they got hacked, yeah, that's when I started talking with people. No, no. They said they were going to change their firewall. They didn't say when. I said, okay, they'll let us know. The email says that to that effect. They'll let us know when we going to do it. Something to that effect. I don't have it in front of me right now, but it wasn't like we're going to have our firewall, changed by a certain date. That wasn't it.
Mr. Jefferson.
Will it have to be changed again?
I got a general question for you.
Oh, my phone.
If you had got notification of the first communication about the firewall, being eventually changed, would that had hit the situation any better? Like, would you been able to be working on something up until the time that they officially changed over the firewall?
Yeah, because I would have urged the agency on the Nighthawk, because it doesn't make sense to try to get this up, because once we get this up come next year, contract with GE leaving the utility business. So we gonna have to find a new smart metering service anyway. So
That firewall be compatible to what?
I think you did stress the urgency for the Nighthawk system, but at the time, we didn't have the funds. At that time, we were going through that financial crisis at the utilities department. We did understand how crucial it was for it to change over. And if God did come in and give us all the information, but at that time, the finances was in such bad shape that we could not enter into an agreement. And right now, we at the end of term, so we still can't enter into an agreement. I understand time has lapsed in the past, but I do remember talking about it. We just couldn't pay for it.
That was the
We was dealt
concern.
a bad hand, given the circumstances, but, uh, you know, our resilience would have helped us find a way.
Okay.
That's it, I'm sorry.
All right, thank you. All right, thank y'all. That's it, Ms. Jones.
Oh, no, that's not the one. Oh, we got, the 6 people who were subpoenaed back in last October, we have to go to New Albany on the 29th and 30th of April to the PSC Commission in New Albany. We got the 4 of us go on the 29th and the other 4 go on the 30th. Yeah, so that's Public Service Commission.
The finish just got passed down last week.
Okay, that's it.
And we did real good on the tornado, getting everybody back up. I mean,
Everybody is up.
everybody's up that we can get up at this time. There were 36 homes that were totally destroyed. We have to go back to those, and people are going to be calling us to restore their power as they move back. But everybody is up who can be up at this time. So we had up to it affected up to 1,900 people, and we got them back up. You know,
Thank you.
it's a lot of work. But that's it.
Thank you.
Unless y'all got questions for me.
That was my question.
Our goal is next Friday for the car wall.
All right, thank you, sir. Yeah, I want you to adjourn.
Motion that we adjourn our meeting.
No, second.
Been moved by Alderwoman. Alderman. Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?